A1, 0, 0, 0.
A0.
Oh, my battery is out.
Okay. And well, that's the alphabet, and there are some sounds which are not that straightforward, like that intuitive. For example, when you have this combination of letters, of consonants, which is chi and akka, if you look at the alphabet, followed by one of these two vowels, I or E or E, we say, this sound becomes hard, so you have to pronounce it k and g. Ki, ke, gi, ge. Ki, ke, gi, ge. And for example, ki means who, and ke means what. In Spanish. And then we have another strange sound, which is composed by these two letters. And when they're followed either by an I or an E, you pronounce them sh. So she, she. For example, we have the word scienza, which you have to remember, you have to put an I here, which is kind of counterintuitive, which means science, or the verb conoscere.
Good morning, Mr. Greenland.
Sei in ritardo. And the verb conoscere, which means to know, or to get to know. And we pronounce it sh. So, another kind of weird sound we have is nya. Nya. And for example, we have words like the word gnocchi, which is the pasta, like the homemade pasta. With gnocchi, in which you have also this sound, gnocchi. Maybe you want to try to read it out for me?
Gnocchi.
Gnocchi. Okay.
Gnocchi.
And be careful, because this is doubled sound. We have in Italian, we have doubled sounds, which are kind of really difficult. I don't know if there are double sounds in your language. I'm sure in Spanish there are no double sounds.
Yeah. What do you mean double sounds?
Doubled sounds are like when there are two letters in a row, and the sounds is doubled. It means it's prolonged somehow. So, for example, the word gatto. This is 2T. Gatto, which means cat. Cat.
Gatto.
Thank you. Or tetto. Tetto. It's roof. Tetto. So you see there's a double combination. It's like tetto. Try to pronounce it.
Tetto.
Tetto.
Okay. Tasha. What's the word cat? No.
Gatto.
Gatto. And the last kind of confusing sound is yeah. Yeah. Like for example, in the word aglio. 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 And yeah, be careful, because here the sound is produced only when it's followed by either I or E. E or E. Aglio, which means garlic. Another very nice word that I like is gnomo, which means gnome.
Wow.
Okay.
Thanks for teaching us
Sì,
that.
sì.
Gnomo. Okay, be careful. Also, is everything clear? Okay. Tom, is everything clear?
Yes, I said yes.
Okay, I will.
Look at you like so.
Okay. Be careful also with this combination. We have the letter Q, which we pronounce Q. And it's almost always followed. Let me think. Yeah, it's always followed by a U. And like Spanish speaking people. Try to read this.
Cuadro.
Okay.
Quadro.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Second question.
Okay, it's a question.
It means kidnap.
Yeah. How do you know?
I don't know. Is it in Spanish?
Yes.
That's why I know.
Or there's also another, actually this is important, another combination, which is CQ, which we read out as Q, but the orthography is a bit different and we must be careful. Like for example in the word aqua, which means water.
But it's also like a double sound. No? It's like a double sound. Or no?
Aqua,
I don't know.
quadro, sequestro.
I don't know. But like
Yeah,
it's-
it's a bit double, yeah, it's double. Aqua. Or acquazzone, like raindrop, or, no, not raindrop, sorry. What do you say? Like when there's a lot of rain coming down.
Tournament?
Yeah, rainpour. Aqua. Be careful with this sound. Okay. So, do you have any questions? Everything? Okay. So, today I have two main topics I want to talk about. And one of this is the articles. And if you go on okay, it's fine. It's Saturday for everybody.
Like 3 hours in
So, if you go in the folder lezioni, and then you go in 2A, gli articoli, which means the articles, and you open the file 1, gli articoli, PDF, I don't know whether they're 2 PDF. So, articles are used, we put articles in front of nouns or adjectives, and they are needed to clarify whether that noun or entity we're talking about is defined or non-defined. And all there are many articles in Italian, and you decide which article to put in front of the word according to the first letter of that word. So it's purely an orthographical, phonetic rule that you need to learn. There's nothing much that you can do, and there's nothing more you can do, and it's mostly about learning a rule. Gli articoli. And so, gli articoli.
So it's just silent, which means
Gli articoli. Okay. So so let's talk about determinative articles. It's like the corresponding in English is the. So determinative articles. Articoli determinativi. I will write it down in Italian. Articoli determinativi. So let's say that the corresponding in English is the.
Articoli vado chiamare.
Okay, are you with me? So, first let's look at the phonetic rules. When do you need to use what? So we have articles for plural names and for singular names. We make a distinction according to the number. Singular, plural, and let me write it like this. And then the further distinction is made by the first letter of the following word. Okay, so now we're talking about the masculine articles, some articles that we use in front of masculine words. So, the first one is il, and the corresponding plural is I. And we use this when the following letter is a consonant. But not all the consonants, just keep this in mind, we'll find out why. Then the second one is lo. The corresponding plural is gli, like gli articoli. And it's whenever we have a Z or an S followed by some other consonant, or when we have X, Y, PS, okay, PS, GN, and BN. Whenever the first word, the next word starts with this, we gotta use this lo or I. Then we're gonna make some examples. Then.
That's the ending.
No, the first combination of letters in the following word. For example, lo struzzo, gli struzzi. So you see that there's an S followed by another consonant, so struzzo, which means ostrich.
Wait, but
The animal with the bird with the long neck.
on the articoli, none of those.
Wait. And because when the following word starts with a vowel, you're gonna have to use l or id. So, for example, l'albero, the tree, l'avocado, the avocado. Good afternoon. And, okay, I occupied too much space in the board, but I can write it down here. These are for the masculine. For the feminine, we have only la and le in front of a consonant, and l and le in front of a vowel. Okay, so for example,
So consonants and the other sounds that you mentioned earlier, like from the
there is no distinction when the noun is feminine. There is no such distinction.
Okay, so it's always just la.
Yes, la and le. So some examples, for example, with the masculine il ragazzo, which means the boy, the guy. I ragazzi. Lo struzzo, così said. Gli struzzi. Or lo gnomo. Gli gnomi.
Similar to stronzo.
Yeah. You're gonna be kicked out.
Sounds like Italian student.
L'albero, we can have here. And gli alberi, the trees. And for the feminine, la ragazza, it's the girl. You're laughing alone. Le ragazze.
I just had to
Let's
add
preach
it.
an answer.
I had to Google what stronzo was again. I didn't remember. Is albero?
L'albero, tree. L'amaca. Le amache. Which means l'amaca is the thing that you put between two trees in which you can sleep.
Hamak? I think it's
Hamak
hamak in
in
English.
English?
Like, or something
Okay.
like that. Yes, yes, yes.
Is everything clear so far?
Si.
Si. Bien. And actually, okay, let me just steer. Can I steer?
First part, yeah.
Which one? This one?
Yeah.
What is
All
the
with
last
all the
one?
column?
Double consonant.
La maca.
The thing that
Maca.
was
Amaca.
C-H-E.
And this on this side, amache. C-H-E.
Okay, you can use it.
Okay. Which everybody wrote that down. Okay. I'm gonna steer on this part. Okay, and then now we're going to talk about the indeterminative articles. Articoli indeterminativi. And it's important to know that for indeterminative articles, we don't have a number. We have only the singular. So, for it's only singular, be careful, and we have un, for masculine, un ragazzo, uno, in this other case, when the following word starts with a Z followed by consonant, X, Y, etc. Uno, like the game.
Le ragazzi.
Several. No, un ragazzo.
So you can use like an indefinite form.
You can use an indefinite form in this case, but it's not an article. It's an adjective. It's alcuni or dei ragazzi. But actually, this is kind of a non-grammatical use of the preposition dei, but don't worry too much about that. And for the vowel, think of it as uno, but you drop the O. Uno albero, un albero. And then, for the feminine, what do you think of those?
Una.
Una. Oh, he's so smart.
Very hard.
Pamela,
Yes.
what's gonna be the following one? No? Like we have ragazza, ragazze, una.
Yeah.
Ah, no, sorry.
That's the one.
Sorry, guys. Sorry. No, we have no plural. Sorry. Sorry. Okay. Un with apostrophe.
That's fine.
Una marca. Oh, sorry. No. Sorry, I made a mistake.
Okay.
Let's-
I probably
Let's go back. Cancel this. It's a very bad mistake. Sorry. There's no, you use no apostrophe when the following name is a masculine. No apostrophe. That's a big mistake. No apostrophe. Cancel it, like double cross on that.
Also in L? Or no?
No, that's correct. With the indeterminative articles, we have these two forms, un and uno, but this is considered to be just un albero, un avocado. It's not uno avocado. Sorry for the confusion. And then while in the feminine, we consider the article to be only one, so una, and we can use only that. So when the following word starts with a vowel, we have to drop it. We cannot say una hamaca. It's just una hamaca. Una hamaca. It's like one long word altogether. So, everything clear so far? Da. Okay. Now, let's see when to use what. And, like, of course, the corresponding thing in English can be a or n. So, this was the first part. And now the use of the articles. The articles. So, this is nice. Let's start with determinative. Determinativi. And if you look at the file I sent, like that's in the folder. Unfortunately, the explanation is in Italian, but now I'm gonna go through that, and then like you can read it. Okay. So when do we use a determinative article? First things first, we use it when we're talking about something that's unique. Like for example, la luna, the moon. Il sole, the sun. Il papa, the pope. Okay, I'm gonna write a couple of examples. Entities. Il sole, la luna, il mare, the sea. So, when else? When we want to talk about a category of people or animals, objects, like for example, Sorry, say that again? Exactly. For example, gli articoli or I marinai, the sealers? No. Marinai is like the people that work at sea. Or I carpentieri, the carpenters. Or also with singular names, for example, il leone africano, the African lion. Or okay, I'm just reading the example. It's a very bad example. Okay. Categories. The factory workers, let's say. Then what? Okay, like when you are, and this is similar to English actually. When we're having like a conversation, and I'm talking about something that already came up during the conversation, I'm gonna use the determinative article. So, for example, I told Yanis, can you go and grab a pencil for me? And now then after 5 minutes, I see Yanis again. Did you grab the pencil? And then, because we already talked about that. In Italian would be something like, puoi andare a prendere una penna, puoi andarmi a prendere una penna, pen is pencil, no, pen, sorry, una matita, pencil is matita. And then if I see him again, and I ask him, l'hai presa la matita, so we're going to use the determinative article. It's something that already came up in the discussion, so everybody has in mind what we're talking about. And so I'm going to say la matita, la penna.
Because it's that specific one.
It's that specific one, or an object that we all know what we're talking about. Or, yeah, like, did you take the car to the mechanics? Stuff like that. And this, so. Can you see the marker on the board? Already talked about. And also, actually, if I want to point to some object, I'm just going to use the determinative article. Like, for example, questo è il tavolo, il tavolo, la tazza, il computer, la presa elettrica, la porta, the door, la sedia, the chair. And like if I want to tell him, like, can you give me the chair, that chair, and we know what we're talking about. It's something that's in the area where we are in that moment. Or, puoi darmi il computer, puoi prestarmi il computer, can you lend me your computer? And like a lot of times in English, instead of, like you would use a personal pronoun, and in Italian you would use a determinative article. Okay, so let's talk about the indeterminative articles. Okay, I'm gonna use another marker. I know this is a kind of boring part, but
Italian is never boring.
never boring, never boring. La pasta. No, what is it? So, for example, when do you think, before we said that we're going to use a determinative article when we're talking about something that's unique. So when do you think we're going to use an indeterminative article? Is this working?
What?
Non-determined, like something that you
Something
use for an object that's
specified, like
yeah.
like an item that is
Una pluma café.
Yeah, exactly. In I think in Spanish it's very similar. The only thing that is that in Spanish I think you have also plural determinative articles. We don't. We're gonna use something different. Why?
I don't know the name.
Igualito que en español, igualito.
Es que no me sé los nombres, o sea, pensé que eran otras cosas. Determinativo, ¿qué es eso?
This is a new marker.
No, David, es lo mismo.
You know how to use it?
No, como dices, nosotros tenemos todavía uno.
No, it's like specific for boards.
Qué asco, la cosa toca.
Sometimes I use them a little bit in water, but like when they're dried up, the stew should come in your mouth.
What is struzzo?
Ostrich.
Like the bird.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ah, sí.
You look at this.
Oh, ok.
Okay, everybody. So, if you're not talking about something unique, we're going to talk about something that's non-specified. So, like for example, I'm asking to like I need a pen, but I don't need any specific pen. So I'm just going to ask you. Puoi portarmi una penna? Whatever. Like I don't mind which kind of pen, which pen you're gonna give me. Just portami una penna. Portami una pentola. Pan. Pan. Pentola. This is very important. You're gonna need this.
What's that?
It's a pan.
Pentola. Pan. When you use for cooking.
Ah, I really like
Is it?
bread.
No,
Como pan.
Dulce o bolillo.
penna.
Is it la o li?
Te agarré
Ni
por
pan.
La pentola, le pentole. La penna, le penne. Una pentola. Portami una pentola. Bring me a pen. Portami, portare la pentola. Una qualsiasi. Whichever pen, I don't mind. I don't need any specific pen. So for unspecified objects. Objects or entity, or like in general. So un ragazzo, una ragazza. Ho incontrato un ragazzo l'altro giorno. I met a guy the other day. I don't like on the street, like by chance. And then, yeah, and so yeah, generally I don't think this is okay. So like someone that you don't want to clarify the identity of un ragazzo, una ragazza, un cuoco, a cook, un lavoratore, a worker, un operaio, factory worker, un medico, a doctor. Un medico famoso ha scoperto la cura per il coronavirus. It means like a famous doctor found out a cure for the coronavirus. And before I said that when we talk about something that already came up in the discussion, we are going to use the determinative article. In another case, in the opposite case, so when we're talking about something for the first time, we can use the undeterminative article. Now, let's do. What time is it, Matteo, please?
4:42.
That's good.
Good to see you.
Okay, now let's do a little exercise.
Wait, like, what's feminine and masculine and plural? Like the ending of the words? How, like feminine and masculine?
Okay.
Do you know?
Oh, I was planning to talk about nouns another time, but okay.
No,
Just-
oh, I'm
like
sorry.
no. Like for example, un ragazzo, una ragazza. So generally, like a brief note. Generally, masculine ends with the singular masculine end with u, o, or u. I'm thinking about a word with u. It doesn't come up to my mind now. But o or u. And then a for feminine. Un ragazzo, una ragazza. I for masculine. And e for feminine. I For example, a man is uomo. Uomo. But the plural is uomini. Uomini. Write it down. Uomo. Uomini. And the feminine is donna. Donne. Or another word that can be interesting. Bambino, kid, child. Bambina, bambini, bambine. Right, Dasha?
Yes. I will take notes after.
That's okay. Okay, let's try to do some little exercise. Are you already looking?
Neutral.
There's no neutral. There's no like neutral grammatical gender. I mean, there's something that you can define as a table is like neutral. It doesn't have a sex, like a biological sex, but it will have a masculine gender in Italian, for example, il tavolo. Or, I mean, it doesn't make sense because, like, for example, in Spanish, it's la computadora, right? In Italian, it's il computer. It's masculine. So it's biologically neuter, but it has a grammatical gender.
What is it?
We don't really have a lot of words ending in consonants. Like, computer, I mean, it's all foreign words. Like, il computer,
Where's the finishing? You have. You
I was thinking about that. Really, there must be. I'm gonna tell you another time. Il guru. It's like the guy who's like kind of the leader of some kind of spiritual group or what? Yeah. Santa.
So if you say like plural of guru is guru.
Il guru. It's not gonna. I think it's a foreign. I don't know from which. It's a foreign word.
It's also from French. If you look at this, it's like originally, I think.
Probably like Latin. Yeah, German. Let's cancel it. Okay, so shall we try to do some exercise? Are you all looking at the page? The file, the PDF named gli articoli, number 1. If you scroll down to the second page, you're gonna see a bunch of exercises. Shall we try to do the first? So let's start from Carlita.
Which PDF?
It's the okay. You have to go in lezioni.
Yes. And then this one, right?
Yeah, exactly. Lezioni. Then you open 2A,
Right, it's doing
gli articoli. And then everybody's ready?
I can find it.
Did you find it?
Yeah.
You just followed it.
Is this one right?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's start from the first exercise. Let's try a couple. Pesce.
Which one?
Let's start from exercise 1,
Yes.
page 2.
Yeah.
Just where you see inserisci l'articolo determinativo corretto davanti a ogni nome. Put the wrong, like, now it's an exercise about determinative articles, so you should put the right determinative article in front of the noun.
So we should know if it's like masculine and feminine.
Okay, pesce.
Singular or plural. I think it's feminine.
I can be either feminine or masculine, but in this case it's masculine. Il pesce, the fish. Fish. Pesce. Il pesce. Okay, try the next one.
Okay, gli occhiali.
Gli occhiali.
Gli occhiali, okay.
I is correct. Brian?
Il acte. L'arco.
No, it's l'articolo.
L'articolo.
L'articolo. So it's lo, but you drop the O. L'articolo. And you put an apostrophe. L apostrophe articolo. May you wanna try?
La pioggia.
Exactly. It means the rain. Occhiali is glasses, by the way.
Il spazzolino. No, monsieur?
No. What's the other one?
Ah, it's lo.
Yeah, because why?
C'est sp.
Why?
Because it's sp. S-S-P.
Okay, because it's S followed by another consonant. It means the brush, toothbrush.
Ah, ok. Lo spazzolino.
Lo spazzolino.
L'incidente.
L'incidente. Incidente. Yeah, be careful. When maybe I should also and Pamela. Since you were not here the last time, I also forgot to tell you about another important combination of sounds, which is chi and che. You read this out, chi and che. Chi, che, chi, che. With the S sound, it's only given by this letter in Italian. In other cases, no S sound, no S sound. Only chi and che.
Why is it called Cicero or Cicero?
Cicero.
Ah,
Cicerone, actually, we say. Cicerone. Okay. Shall we?
What is it? Fiore. It's a la fiore.
It's masculine.
Ah. Il fiore.
Il fiore.
Il fiore.
Yes. The flower.
cugino.
Right? It means the cousin. Clara. No, only determinative in this exercise. It's feminine. Plural. Plural.
So E is not always female.
Le. Le matite.
So it's not a set rule that E ending is female or
Because of fiore.
No, it's no. Okay.
Just put it down as like
When it's singular and it ends in E, I mean it can either be masculine or feminine.
you have to know.
Yeah, you have to learn it, and otherwise it's gonna be the plural form of a feminine name that ends in A in the singular form. Like la matita, le matite, la ragazza, le ragazze.
What
But
is
it's-
matite?
Matite is pencil,
Martins.
and when you have an E in the singular form, it's gonna end with I. Il fiore, i fiori. Il mare, i mari. The sea, the seas. Okay, try it.
Il zucchino.
Lo zucchino.
Los. Why los? Ah, okay.
Yes.
But you said followed by a comma. And there's a vowel.
Yeah, you're right.
Z and U.
No, lo zucchino. Lo zucchero. Yeah.
Huh?
Because of the rest.
No, it's lo zucchino. Zucchino.
Because it starts
But it
with
said
the or it's.
followed by a consonant, and here is a vowel.
Okay, here it's weird because there's no actual rule. Because, for example, lo zucchero. But it's il suono.
maybe it's the souk because it's zucchino. Souk.
Foreign word.
Well, what? No.
No.
Derived from that.
It's okay.
But everything is derived.
No, I'm thinking about, okay, go.
Yeah, I see.
Okay, this is by the way the sugar and the sound. Okay,
I see it.
okay, let me check this and we will come to this next time because
Yeah.
I think I know why, but I don't want to say something wrong. Because you see, like here, you have z, it's a hard sound,
Yeah.
and here it's not a hard sound, it's s. It's not, because we have z and z
Indian.
for z,
Yeah.
and z for s. So for example here, il suono, but it's lo zucchero.
Maybe it's that.
I think it, but just keep this in mind. Don't like. We're gonna come back to this next time.
Exactly. What is the
Lo zucchino is actually because it's a weird form. It means like zucchini. But actually, it's more common to say la zucchina. Use the feminine. La zucchina. Okay. Dasha, are you ready to answer? We're doing an exercise. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna just say it.
I mean,
Daniel, do it. The next word.
Next one.
Yes. It's feminine.
La religione.
Yes.
And how is it in plural? The same?
Le religioni.
Religione.
Le religioni. Religioni. Le religioni. It means the religion. La religione cattolica, la religione musulmana, la religione cristiana, il buddismo. Okay, I think okay. Let's try exercise number. Do you want to try, Dasha?
no.
Okay.
I'm doing something else.
Okay. Let's try very quickly exercise 2, and then let's take a break. Matteo, start from you. Now here you have the indeterminative article, and you should turn the word into plural using the determinative article.
So,
Una finestra.
una finestra, le finestre.
Le finestre. Exactly. This is irregular, but I told you before.
Un uomo.
Gli uomini. Gli uomini. Uomini. Carlita.
Okay. Le unghie.
Yes, exactly. Le unghie.
What is an unghie?
This is
Like
the nail, right?
nail.
Ah.
Unghia, unghie.
I thought it was an eel.
Ja, det är bäst.
Clara, wanna do the next one? Un'operaia.
Yeah, I know I'm thinking.
No, it's just
I'm thinking silently. I have no clue.
Le operai.
right. Le operaie.
Ai, no.
Good one. Carla, wanna try the next one?
Nice to see the rules somewhere. I think.
Gli stranieri.
Yes, gli stranieri. Foreigner. Gli stranieri. Operaia is the female for factory worker. Daniel.
Next one.
Yes. Yorsi, right. May, you want to try? Un gioco. Un gioco. Okay. Il gioco is right, but put it all in the plural. Il gioco? No. We have I giochi. I giochi. I giochi. The games.
How was the word for eye?
Ah, occhio, occhi. Yes. Brian, you want to try the next one?
Il vecchio,
Un vecchio.
un vecchio is il vecchio chi?
Il vecchio is the singular determinative article. Il vecchio.
Il vecchio.
Now try to put it in the plural form.
Vecchi.
I vecchi.
I vecchi.
Il vecchio, i vecchi. Chi. So. Vania?
Uno estúpido.
Mm-hmm.
Gli stupidi.
Yes. Gli stupidi. Which means the stupid.
Stupido.
Yeah.
Someone's favorite
Weird,
word.
vamos a olvidar.
Pam, you want to try the last one?
Un impiegato.
Yeah.
Gli impiegati.
Yes. Office worker.
Worker?
Office worker. Office worker. Great. So, shall we take a break? But don't make it too long because like at 6 sharp I have to wait. 5-10 minutes. Nice. We're gonna do a listening exercise.
I'm sweating my balls off.
We were having a very interesting conversation about extrudes and I was trying to and now
Google results.
that was pretty awesome.
But be careful because like the right word order is adjective noun in Italian. Lo stronzo. Lo struzzo.
But they would be two different things.
No, it's just the
Is it
word
an
order.
asshole ostrich or an ostrich asshole?
Yeah.
An asshole of an ostrich or
Okay, yeah. No.
No,
Because it doesn't, actually, it's not literally as
okay.
asshole would be
Con la estudiantil. Mi
buco del culo is more
Very specific.
buco means hole del culo of the ass. Buco del culo. And
Great professor.
so if you want to say the asshole of the ostrich, you're gonna say il buco del culo dello struzzo.
If I ever need this.
If you ever did, you might need it.
They're in a safari. Oh, you're a veterinarian. Do you do the exam on them?
Ya puedes cambiar el grosor o
If you want just to describe this, the ostrich, you're just gonna say sto stronzo di uno struzzo.
Stronzo dello struzzo.
Porque hay una posibilidad.
Are you sure it's to say it?
They don't have ish sounds, but we say Straße. That's the only thing that I ever noticed when I speak German, that I sound like shh all the time.
That's nice, though. I like that.
That's
So that's when I say
¿Estás
S.
dibujando, Pitos?
Oye, sí sabes dibujar.
You
Yo no
do
podría.
like also
Pero que estás
sounds
dibujando.
like a weird
No.
dialect. Sometimes it feels like you hear
Pero me tiene el
overviews
cabello
people
que
speaking in
No, tiene como la.
Luxembourg, and you think they should be able to understand it, but yet you can't understand anything. It's really
You have
frustrating.
this also, like Swiss German as well.
The guy from the
Yeah.
Oh, it's not.
al tuyo,
Somebody
Ali.
speaks foreign language while they're speaking.
No, mira, mira,
Are
mira.
they kind of away or like what?
Pero a ver,
Yes, if someone speaks like hardcore,
No.
qué mamón.
Ay, dice que se llama escuchó.
some dialects, like in the mountains, they've been separated from
Qué verga, ¿cómo?
other civilization for such a long time that there's like some
¿Qué colega haces?
Switzerland.
I'm drawing Mateus.
Retro-Romanisch.
We're drawing him.
He's drawing me.
Great.
God, so
Oh, he's teaching you really bad words.
Yeah, they always teach me
Why do you teach them those bad words?
Yeah, why?
Because that's what they asked for me.
I only teach people
No, no.
manners.
What is putami?
As a national
No.
since
Okay.
Pitch.
but like it's
Yeah.
it's similar.
Madre.
It's like mom.
Like it's very
Putama.
different.
Ah.
Puta
Language
madre.
from
It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense.
Also, Fatih always says that's Turkish. He always says like,
I thought there was like a website
Go
which
to
is
my
like those
tutorial.
weird browser things.
Yeah,
Like, they give you a starting Wikipedia page, and then in Wikipedia page, then you have to like include,
Pero sí saben
and like
que
the
eso
short list
saben
of
que
then you
Sí me
make
pregunta qué significa. Aprendes súper
It's
rápido.
really good, I have to find it.
Ya luego, así de que.
it's a
Ah,
game.
¿te gusta
Yeah,
comer?
yeah.
Sí.
I wanted
Pero
to.
¿te gusta comer? Todo es lo único que
know,
aprendes.
saben de este tipo de
I tried to
diálogos.
find it.
No,
Wiki racing it.
O sea,
The wiki game,
buscas
yeah, yeah.
I love
It's,
like
about
do you
the
ever get
ball,
lost in the
taking
Wikipedia
it.
page?
Oh, I don't think, yeah, I probably blocked in Russian for some reason, access to information.
No, we just started.
Se supone que no podemos cocinar con carne para la cosa.
Yeah. That's what,
¿Sabes?
European.
O sea, se supone que no tenemos que comer carne así.
So boring.
¿Cuál es el?
Ni idea. ¿Cómo que con carne?
O sea, se supone que
Yeah, like,
hay unas semanas donde no comes carne, ¿no? Se supone que es esta.
Yes.
¿En serio?
Sí.
Ah, los católicos.
So, we don't have to use.
No, uy, mija.
No, I think at Easter you can. But
Pero
like,
para esto, para.
Siempre es todo así.
like for example,
O sea, ahorita estamos
¿De hoy?
De mañana.
ocean, gold, history,
Sí, creo que sí, porque como es Pascua.
and now you have to like find like,
Creo que ya de Pascua.
yeah, like maybe there will be Europe here, so
Desde
it has,
2013.
Ok.
no,
Sí, go out.
Porque yo estoy pensando en hacer aguachiletiano o
you could maybe go for
Pero
philosophy.
mira, es que me
And then in
2013.
philosophy there could
El
be like
problema es
something
encontrar
like
camarón.
Traditions.
¿Qué es cámara?
Shrimp.
No, es que se
We have continental,
Ya estaba chisando.
and then
Esto, ¿quién te quite esto? ¿Viste el video?
oh,
Ah, sí.
maybe we have something.
cada día.
Oh yeah.
Ahorita tiene algo.
Or beauty.
Oh, yeah. ¿Y tú me lo tienes?
I even can't name it.
Go for ancient.
So, Western.
Oh, Western.
That was Western.
And you have like 25 seconds left, by the way.
I can't do that.
But this is the first round, I think, so.
Where are you eating?
Western. But the problem is that we're always doing philosophy, so I have to get like through history or something like that.
Oye, cuenta con tu
Ancient
10
Greece.
minutos y 10
I think these are the people who did it.
Ese es el único duende de
Yeah, anyway. Yeah, someone needed like heroes, heroes of the generation, rock music, rock, no, that's journalism, looking for
Yeah,
there hasn't been something about music or
o sea, llega
O sea, en español decimos beer pong igual, ¿no?
Spanish, like when I
Sigue tú.
Sí, yo creo que
entonces,
this is the dude always in the same
ya te sientes, güey.
so, or information.
no, I don't know that when I was
Que ya te
younger,
sientes, güey, que ya quiero empezar.
¿Qué pasa, güey? I don't know, but
Okay, are you guys ready?
Sí.
To start? Okay, actually, just thought that we might do a recap of the last class and see if everybody remembers
Sure.
what we did.
Io mi chiamo.
Chiaro.
Io mi
Great,
chiamo Bra-
great.
E tu
Just-
come ti chiami?
Andrea.
¡Ay, perro!
Great, great. So let's just try to. Everybody says a couple of sentences, also to, and just say, mi chiamo Andrea, ho 22 anni, vengo dall'Italia. Let's just make a brief recap, so that also those that were not present can learn. Okay, so let's just like 3 sentences, like ciao, not that big. Ciao, mi chiamo Andrea, mi chiamo. Or sono.
I don't know if it's the same in Spanish.
Ho 23. No, 22 actually.
It's important to remember your own.
22 anni.
Non mi acuerdo come si dice.
22 anni. Vengo dall'Italia. So, who wants to try first? You're gonna try first.
Ciao, mi chiamo Carla. E che è? No, 22 anni.
Ho
Ma grazie. Ho 22 anni. Vengo del Messico.
Perfect.
Ciao, mi chiamo Yannis.
No, say your age. Sorry. Vabbè, yeah.
Sì, 22.
Ho 26 anni.
Good.
Vengo di Germania.
Dalla Germania.
Dalla
You use the
Germania.
article here because it's
Dalla
determinative.
Germania.
Ciao, mi chiamo Mateus, ho 22 anni e vengo dal Brasile.
E vengo dal Brasile.
E vengo dal
E
Brasile.
vengo dal Brasile.
Ciao, mi chiamo Clara,
Mhm.
ho 21
21 anni.
anni, vengo dalla Germania. What means as well?
Anch'io vengo dalla Germania. O vengo anch'io dalla Germania.
Vengo anch'io dalla Germania.
Daniel.
chiamo Daniel, vengo dal Messico e ho 21 anni.
Solo tu vieni dal Messico?
No,
Solo tu vieni dal Messico?
No. No. Anatos, no. Anch'io vengo dal Messico.
No.
Oh, no?
I asked, are you the only one who comes from
No.
Mexico? Okay.
No.
Anche lei?
Anche lei.
Lei chi? Lei chi?
Anche lei.
Lei?
It's too confusing.
Lei.
My daughter just
Oh.
wants to as well.
So you should tell her
Anche
name.
Pamela,
Okay.
Vania, Carla e Carla.
Vengono.
Vengono dal Messico.
La verga.
Anche tu vieni dal Messico. Come ti chiami?
Mi chiamo Pamela,
Quanti anni hai?
ho 20 anni,
21?
21 anni.
Yes.
I already say that.
Okay.
Ciao, io mi chiamo Brian. Vengo dalla Cina.
Quanti anni hai?
No, vengo da
Quanti?
24.
24.
24.
Yes, sir. Here. Separate word. 24. And 21. You want to try?
Ciao, chiamo May, ho 21 anni, vengo dalla Cina.
Yes, great. Last one.
Okay,
Last one.
ciao, mi chiamo Carla, ho 21 anni, e anch'io vengo, it's anch'io? Anch'io vengo dal Messico.
Great.
Ciao, mi chiamo Vania, ho 22 anni, vengo anch'io dal Messico.
Great.
Secondo voi.
Okay.
Pizza, pasta, ravioli.
Okay, so just for also another brief recap. The verbs we used in this conversation are the verb avere, the verb essere. Actually, nobody used this verb, but and the verb chiamarsi. So, for the verb avere, the conjugation is the following: io ho with H, but we do not pronounce this H. The H has no sound in Italian, it's mute. Io ho, tu hai, lui, lei ha, noi abbiamo, voi avete, loro hanno. For the verb to be is io sono, tu sei, lui, lei è, noi siamo, voi siete, essi sono, o loro sono. Chiamarsi means to be called. Okay, sorry, actually I didn't specify. Avere means to have. Essere means to be. And we saw that we use this verb to say, like, how old are you? You say, I have 22 years. Ho 22 anni. To be, so like, also when you introduce yourself, you can say, sono Andrea. Lei è Carla. Lui è Daniel. Loro sono degli struzzi. And you can, and then, yeah, it's basically, you can use it to introduce yourself, to talk about yourself in general. Sono Andrea. Then the verb chiamarsi, we use it to say, my name is. And literally it is, I am called. So I say, mi chiamo. Io mi chiamo. And as you can see, the particle, the reflexive particle, goes in front. And it becomes two separated words. Mi chiamo. Tu ti chiami. Lui, lei si chiama. Noi ci chiamiamo. Chiamiamo. Be careful because here we have an I coming up. Voi vi chiamate. Loro si, again, chiamano. Everything clear? Okay. So now I wanted you to make the listening activity. So if you go to where is it? Italiano per superstiti, lezioni. And then you click on to be, stare o essere. Stare o essere. Did you open the document? Then you scroll, you see there's a list of 1, 2, 3, 4 points. If you go to the 4th point, there's a link.
We're
Okay.
lost here.
The
lessons are where?
Those words, study with it.
Actually,
What do we have to
Okay.
no, don't click on the link. Don't click on the link. Have you already clicked on the link? Don't click on the link. This is just to say that this is a website where you can find a lot of podcasts that are made by this Italian guy. He's like interpreter. I know he's actually like an Italian teacher, a teacher of Italian language. He makes these podcasts for learners of Italian, and so like it's divided into different levels. And on this website you can find a lot of podcasts that might be useful for you if you want to try it out. And this link will take you to the page of a specific podcast, but you actually don't have to open it because I'm now gonna make it listen through this speaker. And if you go back to the folder and you click on listening, you have the text of the audio transliteration. And listen.
This is an episode for apps.
Okay. Okay, now let's try to make this listening exercise. As you can see, there are some gaps in the document. Everybody has a document? Did you all find the document? Okay, so just try to listen. If you understand the words that are missing in the gap, it's okay. Otherwise, we will check later. Okay, let's start.
Absolute beginners. Go to podcastitaliano.com. This is an episode for absolute beginners. Go to podcastitaliano.com to find the transcription and grammar notes. Ciao, sono Davide e oggi vi leggerò un testo per principianti. Lo leggerò prima lentamente e poi a velocità naturale. Cominciamo! Caro podcast italiano, sono venuto a trascorrere il weekend nella mia casa di campagna. Qui, lontano dai rumori della città, ci sono calma e pace. La giornata è un po' ventosa, ma non fa freddo. Nel cielo non ci sono nuvole. I prati stanno diventando sempre più verdi e profumati. Stanno anche nascendo i primi fiori della primavera. Nel mio giardino c'è un grande albero di mele, ma i suoi frutti non sono ancora maturi. Nei campi sta iniziando a crescere il grano dorato. Io mi sto riposando nel mio giardino, ascoltando in silenzio i suoni della natura. Vieni presto a trovarmi. Un caro saluto. Davide. E ora risentiamo la stessa cartolina, ma a velocità normale. Caro podcast italiano, sono venuto a trascorrere il weekend nella mia casa di campagna. Qui, lontano dai rumori della città, ci sono calma e pace. La giornata è un po' ventosa, ma non fa freddo. Nel cielo non ci sono nuvole, i prati stanno diventando sempre più verdi e profumati. Stanno anche nascendo i primi fiori della primavera. Nel mio giardino c'è un grande albero di mele, ma i suoi frutti non sono ancora maturi. Nei campi sta iniziando a crescere il grano dorato. Io mi sto riposando nel mio giardino, ascoltando in silenzio i suoni della natura. Vieni presto a trovarmi. Un caro saluto. Davide. Questo era tutto per oggi, grazie per l'ascolto e ci sentiamo nella prossima cartolina. Ciao.
Okay. You want to listen again, or somebody got the words?
No, please again.
Okay.
This is an episode for absolute beginners. Go to podcastitaliano.com to find the transcription and grammar notes. Ciao, sono Davide e oggi vi leggerò un testo per principianti. Lo leggerò prima lentamente e poi a velocità naturale. Cominciamo! Caro podcast italiano, sono venuto a trascorrere il weekend nella mia casa di campagna. Qui, lontano dai rumori della città, ci sono calma e pace. La giornata è un po' ventosa, ma non fa freddo. Nel cielo non ci sono nuvole. I prati stanno diventando sempre più verdi e profumati. Stanno anche nascendo i primi fiori della primavera. Nel mio giardino c'è un grande albero di mele, ma i suoi frutti non sono ancora maturi. Nei campi sta iniziando a crescere il grano dorato. Io mi sto riposando nel mio giardino, ascoltando in silenzio i suoni della natura. Vieni presto a trovarmi. Un caro saluto. Davide. E ora risentiamo la stessa cartolina, ma a velocità normale. Caro podcast italiano, sono venuto a trascorrere il weekend nella mia casa di campagna. Qui, lontano dai rumori della città, ci sono calma e pace. La giornata è un po' ventosa, ma non fa freddo. Nel cielo non ci sono nuvole, i prati stanno diventando sempre più verdi e profumati. Stanno anche nascendo i primi fiori della primavera. Nel mio giardino c'è un grande albero di mele, ma i suoi frutti non sono ancora maturi. Nei campi sta iniziando a crescere il grano dorato. Io mi sto riposando nel mio giardino, ascoltando in silenzio i suoni della natura. Vieni presto a trovarmi. Un caro saluto. Davide. Questo era tutto per oggi, grazie per l'ascolto e ci sentiamo nella prossima cartolina. Ciao.
Okay, so let's try actually to also read it out. So we're gonna also train our reading. Who wants to start?
Matthias, if you want.
The people want to talk.
You were
Yeah.
people
You're the mafia.
You wanna start, Brian?
Okay.
Okay. Try to read, and if
The
you
first.
just read all the text. Read the text.
Dear podcast.
David, occhio,
Leggerò.
leggerò un testo
Principianti.
principianti. Lo leggerò
Lo leggerò.
prima lentamente e poi a velocità naturale.
Velocità. Be careful. When you see ci and ce, it's ci. This sound is ci. Ch. No, s. Ch. Velocità.
Velocità.
Yes.
Naturally.
Naturale.
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 Come-
Take your time. Like naturale.
Naturale.
Yes.
Cominciamo.
Cominciamo. Okay. Let's go on. Let's not think about the missing words. Who wants to go on? Daniel. Caro.
Caro podcast italiano,
Yes.
sono venuto a trascorrere il weekend nella mia casa di campagna.
Nella mia casa di
Casa
campagna.
di campagna. Qui lontano dai rumori della città ci sono calma e pace.
Okay. Stop here. Everybody had gotten the word? Who had got it? Everybody had got it? Also the next one?
No, what did she say?
Città.
One città.
Città. Can I clear? So the first word was casa, house or home. Casa. Be careful when you find an S between two vowels, it becomes z, not s. It's the hard S. Z, like z. Try to do z. Casa, casa, z.
Casa di campagna.
Casa.
Z. Try to do this. Z.
Casa. Casa.
You have to feel like your mouth kind of vibrating, like
Casa.
yeah, that one. Casa.
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 Yeah, better, yeah.
Casa.
Casa. Try this word. Yeah, good. You also have the sound.
Yeah, Portuguese is the same.
Casa.
Good. Everybody got the sound? Casa, and the next word was città. Double T.
Città.
City. Città.
È l'opera.
Vanya, would you like to read?
Ci sono calma e pace. La giornata è un po' ventosa, ma non fa freddo. Nel cielo
Yes.
Nel cielo non ci sono nuvole, i prati stanno diventando sempre più verdi, sempre più verdi e profumati.
Più verdi e profumati.
Più verdi
Profumati. E profumati.
e profumati.
Yeah, okay, yeah, stop here. Yeah, just be careful when you see the double consonants. Try to pronounce it like freddo. Okay. So the word was verdi, which is the plural of the word verde. It's an adjective.
I was thinking of that. Super verdi.
Or the composer. Yeah. Green.
Green Joe.
Yes. Verde verdi. Carita, you want to go on?
Ok. Stanno anche nascendo i primi fiori della primavera.
Stanno anche nascendo i primi fiori della primavera. Try again.
Ok. Stanno can you repeat that one?
Stanno anche nascendo.
Ok. Stanno anche
Nascendo.
nascendo i primi fiori della primavera.
Yes, good. Primavera, spring. Chi? Matteo, you wanna go on?
Nel mio giardino c'è un grande albero di mele, ma i suoi frutti non sono ancora maturi.
Ok, stop here. Nel mio giardino
Nel mio giardino c'è un
grande
albero
albero
di mele.
di mele.
Albero di mele.
Albero
Ma i suoi frutti non sono ancora maturi.
mele. Good. Apple tree. Un grande albero di mele, ma i suoi frutti non sono ancora maturi. Good. Albero di mele. In return means tree of apples. Mela, mele is the noun. Clara.
Where are we?
Nei campi.
Nei campi sta iniziando a crescere il grano dorato.
Ok, stop here. Nei campi sta iniziando. Repeat it with me. Nei campi sta iniziando
Nei campi sta iniziando
a crescere
a crescere
il grano dorato.
il grano dorato.
Nei campi sta iniziando a crescere il grano dorato.
Nei campi sta
Iniziando.
iniziando a crescere il grano dorato.
Pam, you wanna try? Read?
That's io or no?
Io
Io mi sto riposando nel mio giardino ascoltando in silenzio i suoni della natura.
Ok. Io mi sto riposando nel mio giardino, ascoltando i suoni della natura. Try to read it again.
Io mi sto riposando nel mio giardino ascoltando in silenzio i
Yes.
suoni della natura.
Good, 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 good. Okay. Okay, let's finish. Carla.
Vieni presto a trovarmi. Un caro saluto, Davide.
Good, good.
Yay.
May, you want to try to read the last sentence?
Questo è tutto per oggi. Grazie per l'ascolto e ci sentiamo nel prossimo cartolino.
Questo era tutto per oggi.
Questo è tutto per oggi.
Grazie per l'ascolto
Grazie per l'ascolto
e ci sentiamo nella prossima cartolina.
e ci sentiamo nella prossima cartolina.
Ci sentiamo
ci sentiamo
nella prossima cartolina.
nella prossima cartolina.
Good. Ciao, 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 ciao. Okay.
Ciao, ciao.
Okay. Then, now I'm gonna try to introduce a grammatical topic. I mean, it's not, okay. What we talked about before, the articles, it's a very, let's say, fixed rule. So, I mean, you cannot get away with it if you do not apply that very rule. It's a very precise and fixed rule. You can, if you try to speak in another way, it's totally ungrammatical. What we're going to talk about now is more, let's say, blurry topic, which means it has some areas in which the rule is more applicable, is more fixed, and some other areas in which it's kind of correct to use this, but it's also correct to use that. And so, let's try to introduce it. I wanted to talk about the two verbs, which are the verbs stare and essere. Essere, as we saw before, translates as to be. Stare, it's a bit more difficult to translate in English. It doesn't have a literal translation, let's say. It literally means to stay, to remain, but it can mean also to keep doing something. So, I think I will manage to introduce only part of this topic, but it's okay because it's also kind of complicated. And I think that from now on I will try to, in the first part of the class, I'm going to talk about some very fixed rule, like articles, the forms of the adjectives or of the verbs or of the nouns, and on the second part I will try to talk about something that is kind of less fixed but can be more useful when you're talking, when you're using the language. Okay. So, let's talk about, so we're talking about the verbs stare and essere. So let's first see how to conjugate this verb, very briefly. So, io sto, there's no exception in this conjugation. Tu stai, lui, lei sta, noi stiamo, voi state, loro stanno. Be careful here because in chiamare, noi chiamiamo and I appears.
For he and she, it's lui.
Yes, lui, lei. Or actually, you could also use egli, ella. Egli, ella, but it's kind of more formal. Egli, ella. But it's kind of more literary, and we don't really use this in the spoken form of the language. And the same for the third person plural is essi. But when you're speaking in a normal context, like local context, you're going to use lui, lei, and loro. Yes. Io sto, tu stai, lui sta, noi stiamo, voi state, loro stanno. So, now we're gonna divide the topic into when you use these verbs for an object or for a person. So,
Why don't we just conjugate with one word?
huh?
Why don't we just conjugate one word?
Why? Because this verb, stare,
Yeah.
this is the conjugation.
Yeah. Why didn't we conjugate the other?
Because it's the verb essere, we already conjugated it before. Io sono, tu sei, lui è, noi siamo.
Yeah, to pay attention. Sorry.
Okay, for people. People in Italian is persone. The singular is persona. Persona, persone. Okay, so you're gonna use the verb stare. Yeah, no, let's begin with that. Sorry, essere. Sorry. Essere. To talk about a place where you are in a given moment. If I want to say where I am now, or where I was, I'm going to use the verb to be essere. Sono a casa, I'm home. Sono al dormitorio, I'm at the dorm. Sono a lavoro, I'm at work. Sono all'ospedale, I'm at the hospital. Sono a scuola, I'm at school. And so on and so forth. Then we have the verb stare. And be careful, here we're talking about the, let's say, standard Italian. These are, what I'm talking about is what is considered to be acceptable in standard Italian. The Italian that's taught at school, the Italian that's taught in, that's used in the media, that's used in the official communications. There are some other versions of Italian in which the rule is not that strict, is not that fixed. The verb stare for a person, you're gonna use it when you want to say, I'm gonna remain, I'm gonna stay here. So for example, what are you gonna do tonight? I'm gonna stay home. Cosa fai stasera? Sto a casa. Sto a casa. Okay, I didn't write any examples here, but sono a casa. Sono a scuola. Sono a lavoro. For the verb stare, so let's see. Sto a casa. What are you gonna do at Easter? Sto con I miei genitori. Cosa farai a Pasqua? Sto con I miei genitori. Sto con I miei parenti, my relatives. Genitori is parents, and parenti is relatives. It's kind of confusing. And sto con I miei genitori. Again, yeah, it's when you want to talk about something that you are about to do, or that you plan to do, or that you're doing in that very moment, and you're talking about a place or someone you're gonna stay with in that moment, or you're planning to stay with, or to remain at in that very moment. So in this situation, it can be translated as remain, stay. It has that meaning. Sto a casa, sto con I miei amici.
I think why it's different than essere to talk about a place where you are.
Because here the focus is on trying to describe the place where you are in that moment. Here the focus is on the plan, on your plan, on your intentions. So tonight I'm gonna stay at home. Stasera sto a casa because that's what I'm planning to do. What my intention is to stay at home. While on the other hand, if you just say, if you're asked, for example, if you're asked, what are you gonna do tonight? It's kind of weird to answer, stasera sono a casa. It's okay, but you're not talking about a plan, you're not talking about an intention, you're just describing the place where you are or where you are gonna be. Is it clear?
Essere is gonna focus on the place and study is more about your interaction with the place.
Yeah. Your interaction with a place, your intention towards a place or towards someone. Is it clear? Okay. Okay. So now let's talk about objects. Objects in Italian is oggetti. Oggetto, oggetti. But things. Oops. So, for objects, for things, inanimated entities, we're gonna use the verb to be, essere, when we want to talk about the, say, temporary position of an object. A position where that object is, but where that object is not usually stored or kept. So, for example, let's talk about the key. Okay, the keys are something that you move around very easily. But maybe you have some place in your house where you usually store those keys, where you usually keep those keys, so that everybody knows where to go and look for the keys. So, if you want to ask, you go into that very place where the keys are usually kept, and you see, oh, there are no keys, so I'm going to ask somebody where these keys are. And so I'm going to say, dove sono le chiavi? Where are the keys? Dove sono le chiavi? Maybe the keys were, I don't know, on some table or in the bathroom for some reason, or in the kitchen. So it's a place, normally the keys are not kept on the table of the kitchen, but they happen to be on that table. So I'm gonna say, le chiavi sono sul tavolo. Or, il latte è in camera. The milk is in the room, is in your bedroom. Where actually it's supposed to be in the fridge. It's not clear. What's
if it was like in the place where they're supposed to be, you wouldn't say.
No. The correct thing to say is stare.
Okay.
Yeah. So. The keys are on the table. Le chiavi sono sul tavolo.
Keys.
Chiavisti? Yeah. Chiavi. And let's say an object that maybe you usually keep like in a shed, like a ladder, for example. You would say, dove sta la scala? Dove sta la scala? It means, where do you usually keep the ladder? Where do you store the ladder?
could say there is a distinction between focus on place and focus on object. Like the first one, you're more worried about the place because it's the wrong place, and the second one, you're more about the object.
Yeah,
like
that's
the place.
right.
No.
That's right. Okay. Is everything clear? You sure? Any questions? Okay, I think I will stop here. Just one more super small detail or I want to talk about is the use of where you can find the verb stare. And I think it's kind of useful because I'm going to talk about verb tense, and it's a very frequent verb tense that we use. So it's the present continuous, presente continuo, present continuous, and it's formed using stare in one of this form, or also definitive, plus the gerund. Everybody knows what a gerund is? Andando, ando, cucinando, cocinando.
Sto mangiando.
Sto mangiando. So it's stare, gerundio. So here the stare is used as an auxiliary, and then we get the gerund. Sto mangiando, sto camminando, sto dormendo. And it's used to talk about something that you're doing in the present, in that very moment. Like, or also in the past, but then you're going to use a different conjugation, but that's not important. Like, sto mangiando, sto cucinando, it means I'm cooking. Sto parlando, I'm talking. Sto ascoltando, I'm listening. Sto camminando, I'm walking. Что?
I guess it makes sense to anybody who speaks like any other Latin language, but I think to the ones who don't have a background like in the Latin language, they will not understand what you're saying right now.
No, is it clear for you?
Yeah.
So basically, like, for example, I'm walking. It's something that I'm doing right now. And the verb stare, like, introduce an action that's going on in the present.
do now.
Yeah. Sto scrivendo. I'm writing. It's like the present continuous in English. I'm writing.
So like it's the verb to be and something else.
Yeah. But in Italian you would use stare and not essere, not to be. Is everything clear?
Yeah.
Great. So I think the class is over.
Grazie mille.
Hope everything was clear. If you have any questions, just ask.
You're system relevant. You're relevant to the system.
Ciao Andre.
Ciao.